a little. I don't mean to bring a little musser or what do you call it into this, but bottom line is that we got back to minyan, and then it got slapped right back at us in the face from Hashem for whatever reason, right? The shuls are finally getting rolling, and then boom, we get slapped back down. So I don't know. We gotta.
What are we supposed? It's a very good point. What are we supposed to take out of that?
We got to improve ourselves. I don't know how. I don't know what. We have to improve ourselves.
You're sounding like a chassid there, Tzviakov.
I don't. What should I tell you? I don't know what I am. I'm confused. That's what I am.
No, are we supposed to take anything about shul, like about going to shul, not going to shul?
Don't go to shul today.
At the end of the day, like we've been saying, it's lashon hara. It starts and ends with it. Like we said, there's probably less lashon hara when everybody stays home than when everybody goes to shul. But again, I'm just throwing it out there for a thought, food for thought. I have no idea. But Mistama, that's what we have to improve. Mistama can't hurt, that's for sure.
I think that's exactly what happens. The Rebbeinu Shalom got unfortunately sick of us not listening.
Right.
So at least we can take something small. Now it's just Ma'ariv.
Right. And
at least behave yourself by Ma'ariv.
Right. I'm saying even getting back to minyanim, right? So with the lashon hara running around, who's minyan? What did he say? What did he say? Yeah. He didn't say. He's doing this. This guy's a jerk. That guy's a jerk. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We go shoot ourselves in the foot again. No pun intended.
Tzviakov, the first week that this happened, that they closed Farakwe, I got up. I made a minyan in my backyard, and I said, the Rebbeinu is making a period in Klal Yisrael. He's separating us all from one another. He says, and how does why is Hashem separating us? Because a person gets separated when when he looks negative on somebody else. I said, so Hashem is separating us. So we have to figure to improve ourselves that we should forgive another Yid. We shouldn't look down on another Yid. We shouldn't talk on another Yid. That's what I felt from the beginning.
100%. 100%. I wish I
remember the drasha.
I'm glad I heard you drasha now. Seriously, I think so. 100%.
Yeah, can I make a proposal?
I heard it live.
You want to make a proposal? Here goes a proposal from Phoenix. Here we go.
Yeah, I think you should give a Sefer Chavetz Chaim Zoom share.
First, I have to practice what I preach, and then maybe I'll be Roy to give something like that. But it's not a bad idea.
So an anicle.
I want to tell you something.
Law.
I'm serious. Why not?
I want to tell you something. That when my daughter was going out, she was going out for 4.5 years, and I went to Rav Brodny and I asked him, "What can I do to be makabel to take on?" And he said to me, "Zevi, you're in a line of work where you talk a whole day. Learn 2 halachas every day, yareg v'yaver," and he goes, something good has to come from it.
Engaged to Lou?
Very good.
That's engaged to Lou?
What if I want to wear a red band?
Oh, yeah, she's engaged to Lou. No, but that's the next one. This was the one that I
this is before. This is before. Yeah, that's what it is. It's like, that's what it is. We have to have achdus. It's no joke. It's no joke.
So when are you giving shir?
I don't know. Maybe we should. I saw one of the Daf Yomi Shabbos said a suggestion. Not having nothing to do with Corona, just time to do a Epis Chavetz Chaim every night with the Daf. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe let's think about it. Either way, we're
already working on the Lakutim. What's going on with the Lakutim? We're jumping from one project to another.
Yeah. Phoenix said Elio Ikovic is constantly doing projects.
Where's all this money coming from?
Let me tell you. I just want to say, Elio Ikovic deserves a prize because he sent me the world's most expensive shtender. Okay? He sent me a car. See it parked outside my house. The only thing that we've done with it so far is people put the Sidurim on it during the minyanim.
Baruch Hashem.
So we have a great. So
I call them tomorrow. They claim I'm supposed to get the title any day.
Doesn't make a difference. Is that nothing? You can't register it here.
Okay.
Anyway, so don't laugh at his ideas. They come to fruition. Anyways, Tashima. Okay, we'll work on it. We work on it.
We'll bring it up at the next board meeting, no?
That's right. The problem is that a lot of us are very bored, but that's those negative comments, like I just said, is what I have to work on. Then I'll be ready to give the share. Anyways, okay. Toshima, yeah, Zok Pei Chesam at Aleph top line.
You didn't do Chazara.
I know I didn't do Chazara because I forgot to send it out. Okay, so quickly, Chazara from yesterday is we just had kashas back and forth. We had kashas back and forth on the Rabbanon again. Yes, thank you. We should be chazering anyways, but because it's hard to understand. So we have Rabbi Meir who holds that Rabbi Meir who holds not Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Yossi who holds that Shavuos was on Yom Zion because Rosh Chodesh was on a Sunday. Rosh Chodesh Sivan was on a Sunday, therefore Shavuos was on Zion. And the Rabbanon hold that Rosh Chodesh Sivan was on Monday, and Shavuos everybody agrees Shavuos was on Shabbos, and the Rabbanon hold that it was the 6th day of the month, not the 7th day of the month. We'll get back to that in a minute, just because it's something that's important to discuss. So we're having kashas back and forth with the dates. The Gemara, the last Amud, the Gemara's kashas were based on the dates of whether the months were Malay or Chaser. So we basically ended up saying that we adjust them accordingly. Each opinion has to adjust the months accordingly. So then Tashima, the Tanya b'Seder Olam. It says in Seder Olam. Now Seder Olam is a history, I don't want to call it a book, but history sefer written by none other than Reb Yossi, who we're going to ask a kasha on Reb Yossi from his own sefer called Seder Olam. Okay? So Tashima, the Tanya b'Seder Olam, Nisan Shabbat Yatsu Yisroel Mitzrayim, the Nisan that Klal went out of Mitzrayim, Ba'arba Asar Shachtu, Hischayen, on the 14th they shechted the Pesach, B'chamisha Asar Yatsu, on the 15th they went out, V'Oisayim Erev Shabbos, and that day was a Friday, which we said yesterday, that was what we discussed yesterday. With the Reish Yarcha the Nisan, Erev Shabbos, and if Rosh Chodesh, Reish Yarcha means the beginning of the month of Nisan is Erev Shabbos, so Reish Yarcha the Iyar Chad Shabbos. So then the month of Nisan is the month of Iyar is going to be on a Sunday. The Sivan Betrei Shabbos, and Sivan is on a Monday because every month it moves up one day, unless it's Malay. Kasha Rabbi Yossi, so it's a Kasha Rabbi Yossi. Samalach Rabbi Yossi, how many Rabbanon he? Rabbi Yossi. Now yesterday we said anytime we had a Kasha on the Rabbanon, we said that price is Rabbi Yossi, and now we have a Kasha on Rabbi Yossi. He says, okay, that price is the Rabbanon, so it's not a Kasha on me. So Tashema, Rabbi Yossi Omer, B'Sheni Olam Moshe, on the second day Moshe went up, V'Yarad B'Shlishi came down on the third, all of V'Yarad B'Dalet, he went up and down on the fourth, and then Yarad V'Shuv Lo Ola, he came down, and then he didn't go back up again. So now, if you look at the order here, so again, Moshe went up on the second day, and then he came down. On the third day, he went up and down. I think I read it wrong. I put the commas in the wrong place. Again, Tashma Rav Yosef B'Sheni Allah Moshe v'Yarad. On second day he went up and came down. B'Shlishi Allah v'Yarad. On the third he went up and down. But Dalid Yarad v'Shuv Lo he came down. He didn't go up. So now on Dalid, when did it ever say he went up? I mean, he went up and down on the third day, and on fourth he came down, and then he never went back up. So the Gemara asked him, he never went up. So how did he come down? Right? Ela Revi, Olav Yarad. He went on the Revi, he went up and he went down. B'chamishi bana mizbeach. On the fifth day he built a mizbeach. V'hikra of carbon. He was marking for carbon. B'shishi loyoy loy pnai. And on the sixth day he did not have any time. My la mishum Torah. Wasn't it because of the Torah? Loy mishum Terech Shabbos. Because of the Tircha of Shabbos. Meaning we thought because the Torah was given on the sixth day.
Can I ask a Shaila Shtus?
Yeah.
Why do I remember hearing a story like he went Moshe Rabbeinu went up Har Sinai, was there for 40 days and 40 nights?
That happened after this.
That's the second Luchos?
No, that's the first. He did it for both Luchos.
Well, because when it says 40 days and 40 nights, my assumption would be that he would stay up there for 40 days and 40 nights because they said he didn't eat, he didn't do all these things, but now we're learning.
No, he did that after the Torah was given. He went back up to get the entire Torah and came back down 40 days later, which was Shiva Asar B'Tammuz.
Oh, so this is like a precursor then?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah. So, and then Shiva Asar B'Tammuz came down, broke the Luchos, right, which is why that day was a bad day for Klal Yisrael in history, and that's where it all started, right? So, yeah, so now he says, interesting, this is a Chassidus Shavart from the Gemara, right? It's Baruch Rachmana Diyav Urian Tlisa. He gave the Torah, three things in the Torah, which Rashi says is Torah, Nevi'im, and Ksuvim, so that's 3. La'am Tlisa, to a nation of 3, which is Kehanim, Levim, Yisraelim. Al Yedei Tlisai, right? Through a third person, because Moshe Rabbeinu was the third born in his family, right? And B'yayim Tlisa, on the third day, B'yarcha Tlisa, on the third month. Keman Karabanon. Like, who is that like? That is like the Rabbanon. Now, B'yayim Tlisa doesn't mean on the third day of the month, because it means B'yayim Tlisa on the third day of separation, right? And in the third month, so Keman, who is that like? That's clearly like the Rabbanon, right? So now that's the end of the.
What are we supposed to pull from that, though? The 3.
I have no idea. But it's just saying that 3. Obviously, there's some sort of meaning to 3. I think the Mefarshim discuss it further. But what's interesting?
What was the Terech of Shabbos? They got the mum.
What? No, but the preparing for Shabbos and all that.
What are you preparing? The mum came.
I thought maybe washing and cleaning the house, whatever houses they had. That's the way I understood it. Could be I'm wrong. Right?
They didn't have Shabbos then. They got Shabbos. Oh. They got Shabbos by Har Sinai. They got.
No, but they got it in Morah. No, they got Shabbos in Morah before. That's what we saw yesterday. Morah they got Shabbos. Right before
Simon holds like
what?
Simon holds like the Rambam. Everything they got before was bottled by Har Sinai.
Oh, yeah, okay. Very good.
Sinai.
Very good. Yeah. But the pashtus is that they got Shabbos in Morah, which was before. So therefore they knew about Shabbos. But here's the thing. So it seems like the Rabbanon are the ones that we paskin like. Now we know we don't paskin like the Rabbanon, like we discussed yesterday, because we know that a woman has to wait before she could start the 7 clean days. A woman has to wait 3 days, right? Which turns into 4 days, which we said Ashkenazim turned it into 5 days, right? But the point is that we have to wait 3 days, which is paskening like Rabbi Yossi, right? So what's a pshat? So actually, the Magen Avram in the Siman on Shavuos asks this kasha. He asks a different kasha. He says Shavuos. So why do we have Shavuos 50 days? Because we count 50 days of Sfira, and then we have Shavuos, right? Okay, that's no problem. But we end up keeping Shavuos on Vav, which is like the Rabbanon, not like Rabbi Yossi. So it's a stira. He says it's a stira. We're saying here, and the Gemara ends off like the Rabbanon. We say that we like the Rabbanon. That's what we do with Shavuos. We do have Shavuos on the 6th of the month, not the 7th, right? But we paskin filchas neither like Rabbi Yossi. So the Magen says, okay, whatever he goes through with what the reason is for that. But he says, but how do you say on the first day of Shavuos, Zman Matan Torah Seinu? The Magen Avram's kasha is, how can you say that Shavuos is Man Matan Torah Seinu if we're paskin like Rabbi Yossi, and tomorrow, the second day Shavuos is Man Matan Torah Seinu? It's a major kasha. It's a major kasha the Magen Avraham asked. So he does say that maybe this is it wants to allude to that you should really have to keep 2 days of Shavuos. So really, it's alluding to that Shavuos is always kept as 2 days, which is a Chassam Sofer and a whole different story. Okay, but whatever, that's an interesting.
So Yaakov, can you say that we go l'chumrah for each one of them? Meaning, when it comes to nida shalos, so then we're going to go l'chumrah, and when it comes to keeping today,
No, I hear that. No, I could hear that Sfar and Psak, but the Magen Avraham was really coming from the angle is, how do you say on the 6th day that it's Man Matan Torah Seinu if we paskin like Rabbi Yossi and it's not Man Matan Torah Seinu? Tomorrow's is Man Matan Torah Seinu, meaning second day Shavuos. So people in Chutz La'aretz have no issue. I don't know, no issue, but it's less because we're keeping Shavuos on the second day.
So why do we read the Luchos on the first day? We should read it on the second day, no?
Okay, and Hanami, right? That would also be.
We should say the first day and the Zman Matan Torah Seinu on the second day.
Right. So if say first day Chag HaShavuos, if you said Chag HaShavuos, be no problem, right? Because it's Shavuos. Shavuos is 50 days after Pesach, no problem. 50 days after the second day of Pesach. But if you're saying Zman Matan Torah Seinu, he's saying that's not true. We're not paskening like that. Okay, whatever it is. Okay, let's get. So I got it to Gemara. So it goes fast, so we got to get moving. Yeah. So by the 2 dots, right? You have to stand under the mountain. So the famous Gemara is here. Amar Rav Avdimi Bar Chama Bar Chasam Melamed Shekafa Kodesh Baruch Hu es a Har Kagigas. Right, very difficult hashkafically to understand this Gemara. But we learn out from that pasuk is that they stood under the mountain. So we learn out that Hashem had to hold the mountain over their heads like a barrel. If either you guys accept the Torah, and if not, I'm burying you right here under this mountain. So exactly how did Klal Yisrael take this by choice? Right? So this is I don't know how to touch this exactly. This is a good piece of knowledge for the Torah, which Rashi says that if they come to you and they taina why you're not keeping the Torah, you could say, hey, you forced me to keep this. I didn't do this on my own will. Okay, a very, 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 very difficult hashkafically to understand this Gemara. So
Didn't we say that about Purim that they were Makabel?
Yeah, that's the next line. Very good. That's the next line. Right. And Hanami, but till Purim, right? Everybody's we're all so proud of ourselves. Naaseh and nishma, blah blah blah. What do you mean? We were forced, right? Okay. Well, we'll see as the Gemara goes along, but there's really no good answer, at least straight up answer to this. Amar Rava Avapikain Hada Kablu b'Me'achashverosh. They went and they were makabel it again in the days of Achashverosh. The Siv Kimu v'Kiblu Ayudim, they were makayim. Kimu Masha Kiblu Kfar. They were makayim what they were already makabel. Amar Chizkiah. So Chizkiah said, "Ma'idich Siv Mishamayim Mishmat the Din Eretz Yara B'Shakota." From Shemayim they heard the din, and the land was scared and kept quiet. Im Yara Lama Shakota. If he was fearful, why was he quiet? Im Shakota Lama Yara. If he was quiet, so what was he scared about? Ella. So what happened was, Betchila Yara, in the beginning he was scared, and then he was quiet. Okay, why was he scared? But Lama Yara, why was he scared? Hey, yisroel, why does it say right in the beginning of the world? Hashishi with an extra hey, it just said Yom Shishi. It doesn't say Yom Harisha and Yom Hasheni, it says Yom Hashishi. So Hashem made a deal with my aseres. I'm creating you the world, but on condition that in 1500 years from now, Klal Yisrael will accept the Torah. And if Klal Yisrael does not accept the Torah, then I'm going to blow you to smithereens. Right? So, So basically from here, we're saying that Klal Yisrael didn't really have a choice. They had to accept the Torah. Fine. But the time that Klal Yisrael said we're going to do, and they said before they even heard the Torah, right? 600,000, right? 10,000. That's how you type it. Shishim riboy shamalach yesharis l'chol echad ve'echad mi-Yisrael, and kashru loy shnei ksarim echad keneged naaseh ve'echad keneged nishma. So because there were 600,000 people by Har Sinai, and each one had a malach and who tied 2 crowns, one for naaseh and one for nishma. V'kimin shechatu Yisrael, since Klal Yisrael did a chet, yardu me'ah ve'esrin riboy malachi chavala. Upirkim came down 1,200,000, double. Malachi Chavala Pirkim and took him away. Shenemar Yisnatu when he sold as Edjim Mehar Chayriv. Fine. Zomar of Chavar Chanina, Bechayriv Tanu, Bechayriv Parku. And Chayriv they had put it on, and Chayriv was taken off. Bechayriv Tanu Kidamaran, but Chayriv was put on, like we said. Bechayriv Parku, the Siva is not so many Yisrael. Fine. Zomar of Yechon of Akulan Zacha Moshe, and Moshe was Zach on all those crowns with Nutlan, and he took them to Samach Leo Moshe Yikach oil, and Moshe took the oil. So we're learning out that Moshe got everything. But Hashem is going to give us back these crowns that he took away. Parrots is the first song of the Daf. Yeah. That they will be redeemed and they'll come to Tzion to Eretz Yisrael singing. And the simcha on their head. Simcha shemei olam al roshim. What darshaning is that a simcha that was always on their head. Amar Rebbe Elazar, b'shashik timu Yisrael naaseh l'nishma yotzes a baskol v'amar lehen. Right when Klal Yisrael said we're going to do before they even heard the Torah, a baskol went out. And said to them, who is revealing this hidden treasure, right? The Torah. This is something that the Malachi Aseres work with. In the beginning it says that they did, and then they said L'shmaya. Yeah. So that's what we're saying. The Klal Yisrael was zeicha to this, and the Malachim were not happy about it, as we're going to see. Right? Like literally, we touch it as a tapuach, as an apple. I happen to have been driving around today, and I was listening to Rabbi Leibowitz's daf, and he's tining from Rav Hershel Shechter that tapuach is not an apple; it's a citrus fruit, and they bring all sorts of proofs to it. So I checked the article. What?
Tosis.
But the art scroll touches it as an apple.
No, the Tosis period on the bottom.
What?
The Tosis on the bottom says it's an aseres.
What Tosis? Which Tosis are you talking about?
Period Kodim La'alev.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's fine. That's how we're darshaning it. But the literal touch of tapuach is they're touching it. The art scroll touches it as an apple. Yeah. Yeah, no Hanami. Yeah. But I understand. But that's meaning they were touching that. Tosis is saying that that's what it has to be talking about in order to fit it in. They're saying stamazoi tapuach is never an apple.
Tapuach is never an apple?
That's what they're saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what they're saying. Yes.
And maybe it's interchangeable, they're saying.
I didn't say they would. They didn't tie. They're tying the taich of a tapuach as an apple. There's a few things like that the Velt makes a mistake. Yoroik, everybody touches Yoroik as green, right? They think Esther, because we just brought Purim, they think, yeah, Esther was green. Yoroik, it means yellow. Yoroik kikarti is green like a leek. That's green. Yoroik itself is yellow. There's other examples of this. So they're tying tapuach is, the taich of tapuach is not an apple.
Who
The
says
article
this?
taich is an apple.
Who says this?
What? Rabbi Hershel Shechter, and Rabbi Leibowitz said it today on this daf.
Doesn't he bases it on the Gemara with Eitzadas, no?
That's that. They had a different raya also. I wasn't really listening so stark. When I heard that whenever you want to hear controversy, you listen. Your ears perk up a little bit. So I didn't. I listened today. If anybody wants to listen, I guess when probably about halfway through his daf is where he discusses it. But he brought some proofs. He mentioned Eitzadas too, but I don't think that was one of the rayas. Oh, from Charoises, that's what it was. That it says to do tapuach with charoises. Everybody's busy putting apples in charoises. They're tining. No, that doesn't. It's supposed to use a citrus fruit to dull the taste of the myrrh. They're tining. I don't know. They had episode Torah. It's interesting. If anybody wants to listen on the All Daf app.
That's the raya. The Tosus holds that tapuach is really an apple from charoises.
You want to switch it around? Okay,
Yeah.
I hear. Okay, anyways, my desika tapuach ba'atzeh yar lo manim shel yisroel tapuach lo melach mat tapuach ze period kodim la'alav. The fruit comes first. Af yisroel hekdimu naaseh nishma. They also will mock them naaseh nishma, right? That's so Tosis is saying, in order to fit it in, that the fruit grows first. So he's saying it has to be an esrog. Yeah, fine. So Ahut Tzeduki, the Chazil Rava, the Kamayim B'Shmaitza, there was a Tzeduki that saw Rava that he was being ma'ayin in his Gemara for Yosfa Etzba'aseh, the Yadeh, he was sitting on the fingers of his hands, Tusei Kara, under him, right? For Kamayitz, but when he was digging them in, for Kamavin Etzba'aseh Dama, and he was so involved in the learning that he was grabbing onto the chair and he was bleeding. Amrlei Amma Pziza, the Kadmisu Pumaychel Adonaichu, Akati B'Chuzaisu Kayamtu. He's saying this your nation, this spontaneous, I guess would be the way to touch it. A nation that you just do things without really analyzing. So therefore you're going to that's why you're having such pain while you learn. So you should have been looked into it and decided whether you agree to this thing that you agree, this Torah, whether you agree to it or not agree to it before you accept it. Amalei Anan, this Ninon, Bishmusa, Ksivan Tavis Yisharim Tanchim. You ask that, did I say Snina Seginon? I have an old Gemara here. Right? We're wholehearted, right? We're doing it out of love. So it says, Tumas Yisharim Tanchim. Hanach Inchi, the Sagun Bel Nusa, Ksibahu Vasala Poidim Yishadim, that they're going to get, I don't know how you touch for Selaf Poidim Yishadim exactly, but it's what do you call it? How do you say it? I don't remember how you touch it. Poidim is traders, right? Selaf Poidim. It's going to destroy them. Yeah, that's what it means. They're going to be destroyed.
The perverseness. So Rashi translates perverseness of the faithful.
I'm looking for that Rashi. I don't have the highlighted.
Not Rashi. I'm sorry. The article translated perverseness of the faithful.
Perverseness. There's no Rashi here, right? I don't have those highlighted Rashis. I can't even find any Rashis in this Gemara. Okay. Anyways, okay, fine. So Amar of Shmuel Bar Nachmani, Amar of Yonason, Ma'id Siv. Now we go through a whole agadata about Kabbalah Torah. Ma'id Siv. What does it mean? Levaftani achoisi kala. Levaftani ba'achas me'enecha. Right? Levaftani, my heart is my achoisi and kala, which we had before that. Is somehow the love of a wife they compare to a sister, right? Levaftani ba'achas me'eneich. You, my heart, you've done with one of your eyes. Betchila ba'achas me'eneich. You looked at me with only one eye. Lekashatasi. But when you do the Torah b'shtei einayich, then you're looking at me with both of your eyes, right? So meaning it's once you even got involved with the Torah, so then it's even more of a connection. Yeah, Amar Ula. Yeah, Aluva kala mizana b'seichu pasa. It's Aluva is a lashon. It's bad. It's busha, right? It's embarrassing. A kala that's mizana, still under the chuppah, right? You can imagine that's not so great. So that's also referring to Klal Yisroel, who, what do you call it? They went with the Eitzadah, not the Eitzadah, the Egel. They went with the Egel right after they got the Torah. So Amar Rav Mari Bra the Bashmuel, my crow, what's the pasuk? Shahamelach Misima Nirdi. When the king was at his Mesiba, at his party, Nirdi, it gave out, what do you call it? The perfume gave out smell. Yeah, Amar Rav, but still, there's still love. He says he gave it out. He didn't say hisriach that it got bad. So even with all this cheating, Klal Yisrael cheating, lahavdol, or whatever that means, still the Hashem still loves us. Torah Rabbanan, Aluvan Vein and Alvin, somebody who this gets into what we were discussing, how we have to improve ourselves in Ben Adam L'Chaveira, right? Aluvin Ve'enam Alvin, people that get embarrassed and they don't go in turn and embarrass anybody else. Shaimin Charpas and Ve'enam Meshivin, they hear people making fun of them and they don't answer back. Oisin Ma'avos Mechem Yisurin, and they do their work b'ahava, and they're happy when they suffer. They love Hashem just the way the sun, as strong as the sun is going out during the day. Yeah. What's the pasuk? Hashem called out, right? Basuras and Mevasar Tzavarav, a big army. Every word that came out from Hashem went out automatically translated into 70 languages. Like a hammer breaks a rock, right? It's just like when you take a hammer and you bang a rock, it makes it into a million pieces. Well, not a million, 70. Every word that came out from Hashem, one into 70 different languages. Shimu means listen. I'm going to be talking about Negidim, but Chassidim, a Nogid is a rich guy, right? That's what Chassidim call a Nogid. But a Nogid means like a prince. Yeah, why are we comparing the Torah to a Nogid? It's just like this person is a Nogid. He has the power to kill people and to make people live. After Torah, so different Torah has the same thing. They can both give life and they can also kill, right? And that's what Rava says. Those who hold on to it with the right hand, it gives life. The masmilim ba sama demaisa, but those sam actually means drugs, so it's like a drug. If you do it with your right hand and you embrace it properly, then the Torah is like a drug. It's like a drug of life. But if you do it with your left hand, which means you're not really grabbing it so strong, then it's a sama of mace. It's a drug of death. Davar acher, negidim. What does negidim mean? Called every word that came out from Hashem's mouth, had two crowns tied to it. So that's what negidim is referring to. And obviously, these things all need explanation, because how do words have crowns on them, right? Okay. Right? So tzror hamor is a bundle of like spices, nice smelling things, is stay between my breasts. This is obviously from what do you call it? Shir Hashirim. Yeah. Amar Knesset Yisrael Lefnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is what Klal Yisrael said to Hashem. Even though you have stressed me out, I guess that would be the modern way to touch that. Bein Shadayol, and he's still going to be between his breasts, meaning in a comfortable place. Eshkol HaKofer Doidli B'Karmei Ein Gedi, right? And Eshkol is a cluster of Kofer. I don't know exactly what that is. Doidli B'Karmei Ein Gedi is I love it in the kerem, in the vineyard of Ein Gedi. Misha Kol Shalem Mechaperli. He who has everything, right? Alavoin Gedisha Karamtali. For the Avero, now we're using Gedi as the play on words, that a Gedi means a goat, not a goat. I mean, wheat taich is another one with the taich. Right? A Gedi just means a young animal, right? Shakaramtili, which I put on for myself, meaning that Klal is all messed up with it. And yeah, my mashur the high karmi lishna the michneshu. Where do we know that it's a lashon of piling up? Amar Razucha Brei the Rav Nachum gets it now. Like we learned, Kisa shel kaives shekarim v'lavas akelim. That's what do you call it? A guy that I don't know if it's a dry cleaner or whatever, a cleaners that they pile up the clothing in order to make it smell good. They take it and they put spices on this thing, and then the spices, they pile up the clothing, and then they put spices there, and it goes through to everything, to all the clothing. Right? So the lechi is like the temple, or the, I don't know, the face, the side of the face. That's
Cheeks.
What do you say?
Cheeks.
Yeah. Okay, cheeks. Karugas Abaysim is like Arugas Abaysim is this. What Arugas Abaysim is who? That's Veen? I don't know. One of Chassidim calls himself Arugas Abaysim. Yeah, so it means Baisim is good smelling things, and
The Chuster Rose.
What's the Rav's Arugas Abaysim?
Yeah.
I hear. Okay.
The one in Chus. The one in Chus.
I hear. Okay. Anyway, so Arugas Abaysim means Aruga. We had that a few blot ago in the Mishnah. A bed. A bed? Not a bed. There was a better word. With the Klayim. Okay, whatever it is.
It's a flower bed.
The flower bed? I thought we had a better word for it. A patch. A patch. Okay, shine. Whatever it is, a patch of good smelling things. Every word that came out from Hashem's mouth, the whole world became full of psalm and smelled good. Now, since the whole world smelled good from one word, from the first word of aseres hadibros, so what? There's no room for the smell from the second one, right? So Hashem took out a wind, and it Maver Rishon Rishon, it moved it away from one for the other. I wonder that's a play on words with Maver Rishon Rishon, and it must be about that too. Shenemar, Flipsides of Shoshanim Noitvis Mor Oiva. His lips are Shoshanim, are flowers. Noitvis, and they're dripping Mor Oiver with Mor is also a good smelling thing. I'll take your Shoshanim, don't read it as flowers. Ela Shoshanim, that they double up. Right, from the word sheni, that he kept the word, every word passed, you got new fragrance, right, new smells. The first ones left, and then the new ones came in. Does
it change? The shanais, the change? Shoshonim, the change, no?
I don't know. I can hear that. Okay, I can hear that. Shining is changed because it swapped out the smell. Okay, I hear that. Every word that came out, yisroel. Another interesting Gemara. Every word that happened with the aseres hadibros, everybody, I guess their neshama is left. Shenemar nafshi yotze b'dabrei. The nefesh went out when he spoke. So after the neshama went out with the first word, then how could they have gotten the second? Right? No, so a dew came down, that the same dew that's going to make Tchias HaMesim came down, and then they all lived. And then on the next word, the neshama left again, and then there was a rejuvenation. Shenemar Geshem Nidavas Tanef Elei.
They go to the mikveh and everything for Tumah.
What?
Didn't they have to go to the mikveh for 3 days? Just that we had
They had a spiritual death. The neshama died. I don't think their guf died. The way I'm understanding it. All right.
So no Tumah mace. No,
they would not. I think. That's why I understand it.
That's a son nishma son.
So Yaakov, will by Tchias HaMesim, will people have to go ahead and be tovel after the Mechai Mason?
I have no idea.
That's the whole point of the paraduma, isn't it?
Right. So
yeah.
So then, if that's true, then if they had Tchias HaMesim, then why should it be different?
I hear. I don't know. I don't know what's going to be. Like when my kids ask me about what's going to be when Mashiach, I say, listen, I got a hard enough time understanding what I'm supposed to do now. I can't figure out what it's going to be for later. I mean, my hands are full with nowadays.
Did you see Rabbi Lepiansky's article in Mishpacha this week?
I didn't see it. I heard about it.
Amazing.
Oh, right. He was anti-Mashiach. I don't know. I shouldn't say it like that. But
he wasn't saying it like that. He refocused this whole concept of thank you Hashem and wanting Mashiach. Don't do the whole is behind what people are saying it now. Understand Jewish history. It was a fantastic article.
Yeah, I gotta find it. I gotta read it. I have to read it. Yeah, I hear about the articles, and then by the time I get around to reading them, they end up in the garbage. Yeah. Oh, that's yeah. Thank you for the reminder to see that. Yeah, V'amar. V'amar Rabbi Shua ben Levi called you Rediva Shiyatzim v'Kadosh Baruch Hu. Every word that came out from a Kadosh Baruch Hu's mouth, Chazru Yisroel Acharein Shneim Asar Mil. Klal Yisrael went back 12 mil. Right? Vayu Malach Yeshar's medallionists, and the Malach Yeshar's would have to lead them back. Right? So they have to lead them back towards Har Sinai. Shenemar Malachi Tzvaka is Yidaydun. The Malachi Tzvaka is Yidaydun from the word Al Tikra Yidaydun Ella Yidadun. Doesn't mean Yidaydun, but Yidadun is to help them move. Should we stop here and go? Well, let's go a little weiter. What time is it? 10:03. Okay. V'amar Rabbi Shua ben Levi. B'shasha Allah Moshe l'marim. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu went up, Amar Malach Yisrael and Hey, truth is, this is a long Gemara. Okay, we'll start it. B'shasha Allah Moshe l'marim. When Moshe went up to the Shemayim, Amar Malach Yisrael and Hey, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So Malachim said, Ribono Shel Olam, my Yilud Isha Beinenu. What is a Yilud Isha doing here? What is a woman? What is a man born from a woman doing here? Meaning Malachim are not born.
What's the lashon Yilud Isha?
Yeah, what is the lashon?
What ish? Why do you say Yilud Isha?
Why does he say Yilud Isha? It's interesting you say that because a lot of times in the Svarim when they talk about how amazing and how genius somebody is, they say it doesn't seem like he's a Yilud Isha, right? That he can't possibly be human. That's what they call Yilud. Yilud Isha is like almost like a phrase that's used for somebody who's human. I don't know. Right? So what is the Yilud Isha B'nei? No, Armalan L'Kabel Torah. He's here to come to get the Torah. Amar L'fanav Chamuda Genuza. Genuza L'Chatesh Chames Shim Rabba Dairis Kaidim Sheneva Olam. This is something that you hid for 974 Dairis before the world was created. And you're going to take that and give it to a bus of Adam, to a human. Right? That's another. Why doesn't he say Yilud Isha here? Right? He changes it from Yilud Isha to bus of Adam. What is a person? I think, what do we say this in Neila? right? What's a person that you should mention him, and that you should even consider a person Ben Adam ki Hashem Adonai Ma'od Shimcha b'chol Oretz. Your name is so great in the whole world, right? That you put your hoid, your glory on the Shemayim. I'm like, so what are you doing this for? Why are you giving it to people that are human?
Wasn't this asked in Bereshis when Hashem created Adam?
I don't know. Was it?
I think so. I think he says, "Why are you creating man?" So he says, "So I can give him the Torah." So now they're asking.
So, I mean that. So then yes, so that's the. I think it's the same.
Now they're asking again after when Moshe Rabbeinu was there. Now they're going to ask again.
I hear. Well, they really wanted to keep it, as you see from this Gemara. So I guess they tried as much as they could. I know it's not a good. Your question a lot better than the answer, but I guess they're trying their hardest to keep it away from the humans. I guess. Anyways, so Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu LeMoshe Chachzir Lehen Tshuva. Answer them. Amar Lefanim. So Moshe said, Ribbanu Shalom. I'm going to start fighting with malachim. They'll burn me up with the mouth, the heat that comes out of their mouths. Hold on to the kisei hakavod and answer them. Meaning, holding on to the kisei hakavod, I guess they would not be able to damage him. Right? He holds on to the front of the chair. Parshas alav. Anana, and he parshas is a lashon of spreading out his cloud. That's Hashem spread out his ziv shchina over Moshe, and therefore they protected him. Okay, I guess we'll stop here because we'll continue the story. It goes well down the next Amud. All right.
Yeah.
Whoever didn't have a Ma'ariv, don't forget to daven Ma'ariv.
There's a minion right now outside. I'm not telling everybody they should come or they shouldn't come, but they're outside my house.
I'm actually waiting outside your house.
Oh, there you go. I hope they're not waiting for you. Tell them to start, unless they probably need me.